I hope this exercise helped you better understand this type of communication, the CSW. To give it even more significance, I want to give you a simple example from a normal person's life who applied this tool, but not in business, in relation to government institutions. The person learned this technology and decided to put it to use. The entrance to the apartment house he lived in was a normal St. Petersburg entrance, and it looked like this. There was graffiti all over it, was dirty everywhere, with every possible thing broken. So, to put it mildly, it was less than pleasurable to find yourself in this entrance. So that was the situation. And my friend used the CSW and wrote a communication, properly wrote out one, and put down all the right terminals. Of course, he didn't use the word CSW because it would have been a misunderstood word. But the style of the dispatch was very strictly adhered to. It was in the right sequence, and the situation, the necessary amount of data, and the correctly proposed solution were all there. The result of applying this tool was an entrance that looked quite differently, more like the Hermitage, with restored moulding on walls, new windows, railings, doors, and all the rest. Everyone was astounded by what had happened, and, by the way, not one of the residents paid a single dollar for the repairs. And it is a sure thing, I can tell you, that it was using the CSW specifically that led to this result. So what I want to emphasize is that this technology does not only apply inside a business, use it in life itself. Do apply the technology. Everything is relative, right? Let's compare what happens when people use written communication and the three-basket system, and what happens when they don't. What happens in each case? We're now going to demonstrate this principle with characters you're already familiar with. Anyway, you're now going to see the communication system in action in the workplace. Let's see what it would look like. Aha! Ksenia, you're working. Well, by your expression, must be something truly important. All immersed in the work process? I wouldn't want to interrupt or upset you, but here it comes, crouching in all its destructive magnificence. Do welcome it, verbal communication.
Listen, please tell Vladimir that today that there will be a shipment to the subway station B. By the way, it's going to come to subway station A, and not to subway station B, where the shipments usually come. It'll be a new shipment of spaghetti, and it's going to come from 7 to 12. There needs to be a car ready for you. Well, not for you, but for Vladimir, and he has to pick up the shipment. He's got problems with his wife, and he's not supposed to call the boss about his problems. The boss has already had enough of them. That's all you have to tell him. Got it all? I'll relay it at once.
Well, but who has it easy these days? Do call Vladimir, let him come in. And really, is there any reason to get all worked up about nonsense? After all, this is your normal workday. That wasn't a bad idea. Let's get all your thoughts together and start all over. Let's get down to work. Right. It seems like you're in no hurry to get home today. So, why bother with trifles? If you're already working, let's take it all the way. Verbal communication, scene 2.
Alright, Vladimir, listen. You absolutely have to go to the station. What station was it? Substation B? Anyway, go to subway station B and to subway station A. There is a shipment there. Someone said it came at 7 o'clock yesterday, but you have to pick it up before 11 today for sure. The shipment is called spaghetti. There's 3 tons worth of it, as far as I understood. Oh, and by the way, about your wife, don't call the boss and don't say anything at all.
You were told to buy 3 baskets and not be greedy, weren't you? Well, I think that's funny, and you probably saw something similar to what's happened to you, or to your environment, or something like it. That's a very widespread phenomenon, isn't it? Well, as I said, everything is relative, so let's compare this to what would have happened if people were using the 3-basket system and written communication. Let's see what would have occurred. Alright. Okay, the events and the characters are the same. Ksenia and Nikita. But no comments here. Alright, she started, continued it, and seems like she's about to stop, right? Doesn't seem too bad. Look, and she seems like she's in a better mood, not frowning anymore. And here's our dispatch. I'm curious how quickly she'll deal with it. Start executing. Aha! And now we cross this out and put a new one in. And a note. Rush. Is that it? Come on. Ha! We saved at least 3 days considering the busy unpredictability of events after scene 2 of verbal communication. Seems like she's choosing what work to do next. Choosing. My God, if she doesn't watch out, she might do a week's workload in a day. Nikita. Vladimir. The dispatch has been delivered. Alright, when it's marked with a rush, you put it on the center of the table and not in the in basket. That's important. Look, seems like he duplicated it, which goes to say he understood it. Aha! And he'll probably do it, and do it right. Alright. No alteration, no annoyance or tiredness from wasted time. And mainly, it's faster in the final analysis as it turned out, though at first it would seem that it's faster to say than to write. Cool. Well, alright. I hope that after this demonstration it's now totally clear how, why, and what is this written communication for, what communication lines to use, from which terminals, what types of dispatches, etc. And so we have an organization. Let's take a look at our organization by using our org board. We have 3 types of dispatches as far as our communication system goes. One goes from the top down, one could say, and that's an order, an instruction, or a task to be done from an executive to a junior. Then from bottom up and from junior to executive is the type of dispatch we call a CSW, completed staff work. And then moving horizontally we have regular communications, 3 types. Basically, that's the foundation of the whole communication system. While explaining the material to you, I very often mention this phenomenon of extra unnecessary work, remember? You know, in technology of management there is a large, separate, very expansive chapter devoted to just this idea. There is even a really important term that describes this phenomenon, and it's really important to know this. Let's see what it is.